The episode started showing a vinyl record player playing a song in a flooded surrounding. This is the result of Queen Sibith Cain's switching off of the hydroelectric generators that enables river water to flow through the dam. The situation inside the facility continues to worsen. The queen with her loyal maids started fleeing when they passed by an array of head sculptures. Then she started talking to one of the sculptures, claiming that it is her father. She said to it that his father's history is about to end and hers is just beginning. Then she said goodbye to it and continued walking. Lord Anoa, on the other hand, is very disheartened by what is happening. He said that their god has abandoned them. He tried to pray to appeal to him when a portion of the building collapsed from above. Queen Cain and the maid then hurriedly climbed on board a waiting carriage outside the facility. The disillusioned queen is excited of what's ahead of her while the dam has finally given in to the water pressure. The immense volume of water consolidated by the dam then swallowed the whole city of Kanzua, situated just below the dam, which was once regarded as the Cain Palace. All the residents were obliviously swept away by the raging water. All they could do is scream, cry, and wail of the horror that they are in too. Meanwhile, Maghra is sitting along the riverbank when Paris is about to approach her. Still, Paris is curious of what is in the purse that is very important to Maghra, that she is willing to risk her children and husband's life just to retrieve it. Then she added that if Maghra wants to tell them the truth about it, she would have told her family first before her. Maghra stayed silent. Paris proceeded that there is something she feels growing in Maghra since they started their journey along the river. She said that it is something formidable, something dark. Maghra answered, I am the same person you've known for almost a lifetime. I understand your confusion, and I tolerate your curiosity. But please do not suggest that my husband or my children are in grave danger because of my sinister motives, or that she is indifferent to their welfare. She then told Paris to hold her hand and pray with her for her family to come back safe and unharmed. Baba Voss and his children are trying to track the person who stole their weapons and Maghra's purse. Baba signaled them to come close and asked what they hear. Haniwa said she could hear nothing, while Kofun, with his eyes closed, said that he hears humming, that a bunch of people are humming. Baba then pointed where it is coming from and started walking toward it. It brought them to a place littered with plastics. Upon seeing the place, Haniwa told them that there's no one there and that the place is deserted. Baba Voss disagrees and said that they are up by night and asleep by day. He is also certain that they are the ones who took their belongings. Kofun then said that there are a lot of those people than they are. Haniwa volunteered to enter that area. She said that she can get in and out of there without being noticed. Baba Voss is hesitant, but Haniwa insists. Baba and Kofun could only agree to her. Haniwa slowly and carefully started entering the site. She silently followed a pathway in between piles of junk and avoided contraptions designed to alert residents of possible intrusion. Kofun and Baba Voss are anxiously waiting outside. Kofun is starting to regret why he approved Haniwa to go and buy herself. Baba Voss is trying to console him by saying that Haniwa would have still insisted no matter how they tried to stop her. Haniwa continued discovering the area following a maze of pathways. She is making sure not to make unnecessary sounds. Deep in the pile of junk, a peculiar specially positioned junk sculpture caught her attention. She went closer to check it, and as she's doing it, she's oblivious that someone is watching her. She looked closely and found her mother's purse. She then carefully reached for it. As she's about to check its contents, she felt that someone is observing her. Kofun and Baba Voss then heard Haniwa's scream. They quickly rushed and concerned that something bad might happen to her. They found Haniwa unconscious. Kofun pushed Baba Voss to keep him from someone that is about to attack them. Kofun tried hard to dodge the enemy's attacks. A number of blows hit him and pinned him down. When the enemy tried to finish him, Baba Voss came to the rescue. Kofun then went to Haniwa's side to keep her safe. Baba Voss struggled to fight the enemy. Haniwa came back to her senses. When Baba Voss tried to take the enemy out of his miseries, Haniwa spotted a familiar logo etched at the enemy's chest and tried to stop his father from killing the enemy. Haniwa pleaded to Baba Voss and told him to feel the logo etched at his opponent's chest. When Baba Voss made him sit up, Haniwa noticed that the man can see. Meanwhile, The queen and company stopped by at a riverbank to refresh herself. She recalled that she was born into the sound of the engines, the sound of thunder, power, and meaning, and that she never ventured far from the capital. She always wondered what the sound of the world is like, and she now found out that it sounds nothing at all, and how unbelievably boring. The maid suggested that she listen to the water and the wind, and perhaps if she does, it might whisper some secrets to her. She then replied that there are no secrets there, no information being bargained, no stories woven, no strength, and no fear. The queen then said that she's hungry and got up. They then went back to where their carriage is parked. They were trying to find the driver when someone subdued the maid. The queen continued trying to find the driver. He was about to get furious when she found his unconscious body. She checked it, noticed something, smelled it, and tasted it. A shadow appeared by her side. She suddenly felt worried as she tried calling her maid, but nobody answered. She then checked the lifeless driver's body for concealed weapons and found a knife. She then heard finger snaps. It was the shadows trying to get her attention. Then they subdued her and checked her. They noticed that she has very soft hands and exquisite fingers, so they took her. The queen could only scream in fear. Haniwa and Kofun came back safely. They have with them Maghra's purse. Maghra is relieved. Paris noticed that there are 4 of them. Haniwa told them that the 4th one is Boots. Paris asked if he's the creature who took their things. Haniwa said yes and reasoned that he didn't know who they were, and that he didn't have a choice. Haniwa then explained everything to them. She said that when Jorlamero left the Ilkeni tribe in his journey to build his kingdom, he stopped by at the Opeo tribe for the winter, and lived among them for a year until his child, Boots, was born. Then Jorlamero continued his journey. She then pointed out that Boots is their brother. She continued that after Jorlamero left, the Opeo tribe treated Boots like a slave. They forced him to scavenge and steal for them. And when the Witchfinders did a campaign in the area, the Opeo tribe left to seek safety elsewhere and abandoned Boots to fend for his own. Paris hesitantly asked Haniwa if she's instigating that they bring Boots along in their journey. Haniwa strongly said yes, and continued saying that aside from offering Boots a way out of being treated like an animal, aside from him being an asset to them, a skilled fighter. Maghra interrupted her asking if Boots can see. Haniwa said yes, he can see. Paris asked Kofun if they are in agreement with Haniwa. Kofun stayed quiet and just shook his head. Haniwa then asked them why they are like that. According to her, Boots is family, and they should not leave him behind. Baba Voss told Paris that he also asked the same questions as hers, and if is gonna forbid this from happening. Paris asked, and Baba Voss replied, imagine what would we be doing right now. Maghra then asked Haniwa about what else does she know about him aside from his skills as a thief, and if she trusts him. Boots intervened to them saying, I've never had anyone to look after me, as you do for each other, and continued saying that to be a part of that, he'll do whatever it is they'll ask of him. By what she heard, Maghra then said, then let him come. Let us begin to build ourselves an army of the sighted. She continued saying so long as the new recruits are willing to swear allegiance to the only general that they have. Boots answered, I swear it. Maghra told him, no, show us. Boots then approached Baba Voss and showed his allegiance to him. Queen Sibith, on the other hand, is taken by the shadows that captured her. She tried talking to them, but the shadows kept silent. She then threatened them that she will be there when they slit their throats to remind them what a big mistake they have done that day. Maghra and Baba Voss then talked about what happened. Then she said to Baba that she never told him about his father. She continued saying that his father gave her the purse on the day he died, and that it has been with their family for as long as her father can remember. Maghra let Baba Voss open the purse and see what it is inside. Baba Voss then said, all of that for this, and that she must have loved his father very much. Baba Voss seemed to have no idea what Maghra lets him see. She proceeded saying that his father was a very good man, kind, and wise, and that he might have liked Baba. He then answered that he wished he have known him, then continued telling her that she may tell him more about her father sometime. Maghra answered, I'd like that. Boots approached Haniwa and said to her that her family doesn't like him. Haniwa answered him that they're scared and confused, but they are good people. Boots continued asking if do they like her, do they yell at her, make her feel small. He then said, that is how my people are treating me. Haniwa then asked why would they let him wear the mask. Boots answered that they told him that he is not like them, not a man, but something else, and that the mask would remind him. Haniwa felt sorry for Boots and told him that her family loves her. They don't always understand, but she never doubted, even for one moment, that they loved her. She then told Boots that he is one of them now, and promised that he will never be treated that way again. The scene shifted to Kofun with Ba Lion trying to get the boat back to the water. No matter how Kofun tried, the boat didn't move even an inch. Ba Lion then asked him if he knows what it feels like observing people without them knowing that someone's observing them, that they are completely vulnerable. You could keep their secrets, or you could tell their enemies about it. You could strike at them, and they will never know who did it, or how, or why. You could change, or end their lives, for any reason, or no reason at all. And that's what gods do. She continued that Kofun may not know how it feels like, because he never made a choice to hold his power to see over others, and that his parents made him do so. Ba Lion says that she knows how it feels like, and she suspects that Jerla Merrill knows too. For her, shadowing others brings her closer to those she shadowed. But Jerla Merrill fathered children among tribes and abandoned them. Kofun asked her, so, what does any of these have to do with you anyway? Ba Lion replied, maybe I find it amusing that you can see and still observe so little. Scene shifted back to Queen Sibith with the shadows arriving at the City of Worms. The name of the place is derived from the residents' main trade of making silk clothing. The shadows dragged Queen Sibith against her will. The silk master noticed their arrival. The captured queen demanded to them to give water to her horse, and that she's tired and needs sleep. Then she'll talk to them after she is rested. One of the shadows choked her instead. The silk master checked her hands and noticed exquisite fingers. Queen Sibith told the man that he don't want her to be there. She continued that, if he will not let her go, he will regret it soon. The silk master, instead, put on a leash to her neck and said he wonders who might she be to make such claim. A lady with delicate hands. Maybe someone wealthy, accustomed to wielding authority. The silk master then continued that the Witchfinders came to the village not long ago. He noticed that their accent and hers are alike. He remembers that such accent is from Kanzua, because he visits the place to sell his goods. Upon touching her clothing, he said he presumes that she is a noble woman, and perhaps even a counselor to that evil queen. She seemed surprised of what he called her, but said nothing. The silk master then briefed her of her tasks, while staying in their place. He also told her of the consequences if she tries to escape. The queen could only pray to her god to help her. Baba Voss asked Kofun if the boat is ready. Kofun said that it is stuck. Baba checked it. Kofun asked Baba what to do. He said that they'll have to wait until next morning. Paris then noticed something and she alarmed them. Baba listened, while Kofun looked at the direction of where it's coming from. He sees a Witchfinder scout emerging at the riverbank not far away. Haniwa and Boots noticed him too. Her expression showed fear. Baba Voss tells them to run. Following the scout is the army of Witchfinders who were looking for them. Baba Voss and company hurriedly went to the woods. They are trying to find a good place to hide, when Kofun noticed that they were surrounded. The Witchfinders were widely spread out to comb the woods to find them. Baba Voss told Haniwa to take Maghra and Paris to somewhere safe. Kofun told him that they are everywhere. He then told his father that he will stay there with him. Baba answered, yes you will, son. Haniwa found a place for Maghra and Paris to hide. She then told them to stay there and everything will be alright. Then she left them. The Witchfinders are meticulously combing the area. Baba Voss takes one that went his way with his sword. Boots takes the other with his cane. Maghra and Paris tried their best to stay silent while the Witchfinders walked past their hiding place. Kofun picks the most vulnerable and killed him with a knife. Baba Voss lures one to his direction by tapping the tree with his sword. Boots continued hitting the Witchfinders one after the other. He does these while making use of his hit and run tactics. Ba Lion joined the fray with her jousting skills. Haniwa disables one with her Ba Jitsu technique. Paris, on the other hand, seemed in distress. she couldn't find Maghra. She called out and heard by Haniwa. Haniwa went to the hiding place and checked. Paris told her that Maghra is gone. Baba Voss came too. Haniwa is trying to find her. She's scared of what might happen to her. Maghra went out of the woods. She called out to Makdi Jun's name. She slowly approached him. The Witchfinder general heard her and got off his horse. Maghra is asking him if he heard her. Makdi Jun draw his sword and slowly walked toward her while Maghra is telling him to speak. Maghra continued walking toward him and asked him again if he hears her. Makdi Jun said that he hears a voice of a dead woman. Maghra tells him to listen closer. The Witchfinder general is about to strike her with his sword when Maghra suddenly took out her hand with the handbells ringing. Makdi Jun froze and appears to be stunned by what he hears. He then instantly knelt down in front of Maghra. Maghra then orders him to take her hand and speak. Makdi Jun, still in disbelief, slowly uttered, "Hail Princess Maghra of the House of Cain." The Witchfinder sergeant then ordered the whole army to give homage. The whole army then obeyed and bowed and kneeled down in honor of Princess Maghra of the Payan Kingdom. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. Till next episode.